Hey guys, this is Kevin from JazTime.com, and today we'll be doing a comparison between the Rolex Yacht-Master 40, reference number 116622, and we'll be comparing it against the Yacht-Master II, reference number 116680. We'll be comparing the dials, bezel, case, crowns, bracelets, clasps, and we'll talk about the movements towards the end of the video. Okay. So as of May 2017, you can get the Rolex Yacht-Master 40 at an authorized Rolex retailer for $11,550, or you can get it at JazTime.com for as low as $9,700. For the Yacht-Master II, you can get this at a Rolex retailer for $18,750, or you can get it at JazTime.com for $14,200. Okay. So let's go ahead and jump right into the bezel, or rather, not the bezel, but the dials. So for the dials, configuration-wise, the Yacht-Master 40 has more configuration options than the Yacht-Master II. The 40 comes in this Rhodium with light blue Yacht-Master text and light blue second hand. Additional configurations are a blue sunburst dial with red text and red hand, and the platinum dial with red text and red hands as well. For the Yacht-Master II, fortunately the dial does not change. The dial stays as a beautiful white dial with contrasting blue and red text indicators throughout the dial. The only thing that does change is the material quality of the material of the watch. This is a stainless steel version. It can also come in a full yellow gold version or a two-tone rose or yellow rose gold and stainless steel combination. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the dials now. So for the dial, we have the maxi. For the hour markers, we have the maxi hour markers, which is 30% larger hour markers than the normal Rolex circular markers. So we have the circular markers at the 6, 9, and 12 position. We have 2 index markers and a triangle at the 12 o'clock position. And these hour markers are luminescent, so they provide excellent readability at night and daytime. For the hour markers on the Yacht-Master II, we have the square hour markers. Actually, the new updated versions come with the 12 and 6 o'clock position as triangle hour markers for more legibility and easier viewing of the dial. The markers are luminescent as well. Fortunately, I believe the 40 wins out in terms of readability, as these markers are small little luminescent squares. The hands, comparing the hands now, the Yacht-Master 40 has the Mercedes hour hand, which is, you can see, has that luminescence as well. The minute hand has a full bar luminescence, whereas the Yacht-Master 2, we have these beautiful blue sword hands. I'll try to shine them in the light here so you can see that blue color. It's absolutely gorgeous, but unfortunately there is no there's only luminosity on the hour hand, as the second hand is skeleton, or rather the minute hand is skeletonized, so it doesn't block that timer on the bezel or on the dial. Okay. For date portions, the Yacht-Master does have a date at the 3 o'clock position with a Cyclops lens on top of that crystal for magnification and easier viewing of that date, whereas the Yacht-Master II does not contain the date but contains a second subdial at the 6 o'clock position that tracks that 60-second timer. One thing I forgot to mention is that the Yacht-Master II is a chronograph watch. It is a chronograph watch. That's why the central second hand does not move unless unless started by the chronograph pushers at the 2 and the 4 o'clock position. All right. So besides that, let's go ahead and move on to the bezel now. For the bezel, we have a 60-minute graduated platinum bezel. It's the sandblasted platinum on the back with raised high polished numerals, as you can see. And that's going to be the same type of bezel for all 3 configurations of the Yacht-Master 40. And the bezel itself is bidirectional, moves left and right, and it easily tracks elapsed time. as if you were to say you wanted to track the elapsed time from this 15-minute mark, and if it was as it moves down, you can track the elapsed time as so. For the Yacht-Master II, it's a bit more complicated, but we definitely have a beautiful blue ceramic bezel that will keep that blue color throughout its lifetime because it is ceramic. It offers a very nice shine, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. Specifically for the timer portion, unfortunately, it is a bit complicated. It is a bit complicated to use. We do have a separate YouTube video on our channel that fully explains how to use the Regatta, the command ring bezel with the Regatta timer, and you can check that out after this video. So for the crown portions, as these are both sports watches, we do have the crown guards to protect the crown. For the case size, you're looking at different size cases, as it wasn't obvious enough from the larger viewing area of the Yacht-Master II versus the Yacht-Master 40. The Yacht-Master 40, as the name states, it is a 40mm in diameter watch from my index finger to my thumb. That's 40mm in diameter, whereas the Yacht-Master II is 44mm in diameter from my index finger to my thumb here. So for the side profiles of the watch, the Yacht-Master 40 will have a smaller profile, as it is use a very widely used Rolex Rolex movement of 31 to 35. So it has a much smaller casing, whereas the Yacht-Master II has a much higher profile because it is a chronograph watch with all those different functions. It has to be cased in a larger case size. So if you're looking to slip something under your suit cuff, dress cuff very easily, you might want to go with the Yacht-Master II here, or rather the Yacht-Master 40. They both have a high polish on the side that patterns very nicely with the bracelet. For the other side, we have that same high polish as well. Of course, larger crown size on the Yacht-Master II because it is a larger case size, but we still have that same Rolex logo on the crown itself. Now, for the functionality of the crown, the Yacht-Master 40 does have a little bit more functionality than the Yacht-Master II, as because we have the date window of the 3 o'clock position. They're both screw down twin lock double waterproofness systems. I actually go ahead and show you here. So, and then screws counterclockwise to the hand winding position in which you can wind the watch. The feature that the Yacht-Master II does not have, if you tug the crown very gently here, you can set the date instantaneously as shown. And of course, in the final positions for both watches where the crown is fully outwards, you can adjust the hands bidirectionally. Both have the feature of the second hand or the hack movement completely stopping, so you can set time precisely to an atomic clock online or your iPhone. You can set it down to the exact seconds. And another thing is always make sure to screw the crown nice and tight against the case, as you want to keep the watch water resistance for up to 100 meters or 330 feet. And that applies to both watches, both the Yacht-Master and the Yacht-Master 40 and the Yacht-Master II. They both have the same water resistance. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the bracelets now. So for the bracelets, they both have the same style bracelet, which is the Oyster 3-piece links. That has the high polish down the center with a sand brush steel on the outer portions of the 3-piece links. As you can see, it gives a beautiful contrast. For the clasp, we have the same style clasp. They both pop out via safety. It's a safety folding oyster clasp. As you can see, this is a safety portion, which is this little hinge that sits on top of the folding oyster, which as shown pops out like that very easily. The Rolex name is embossed on these high polished clasp blades, which is actually a recent thing that Rolex has started to do. They used to have a sandblasted clasp blade, but now it's all high polished with a nice Rolex engraving on them. Okay. Now, for behind the clasp, they both have the same functionality in terms of adjusting the clasp for small 5mm increments. And I'll go ahead and show you here. This one is the Yacht-Master 40 in my hand. At the very bottom here, there's a little indentation for the clasp, and that's adjusted by a little pin behind the clasp, behind the bracelet. You have to adjust it with a little tool and press the clasp forward. It's a little pain there, but it's still nice to have that little functionality to adjust the adjust the bracelet for more comfortability on the wrist when it gets hotter or when it gets colder, when your wrist expands or you know, compacts. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the movements now. So the movement, as I mentioned before, for the Yacht-Master 40 uses a very widely used movement. The movement is the Rolex's in-house made movement, perpetual self-winding mechanical movement. It is a caliber 3135 movement, which is the movement used in submariners, deep seas, sea dwellers, and such. They all use that very simple movement. So you know that the movement is quality. It's been tried, it's been tested, it's definitely a solid movement. The precision of the movement is a -2 + 2 seconds a day. Has that simple functions of the center hour, minutes, and seconds hand with the instantaneous changing of the date and a stopping of the seconds, as I've shown you with the crown. The oscillator is a paramagnetic blue parachrome hairspring, which has a little magnetic resistance to the oscillator. And the power reserve is approximately 48 hours. So you can put this down on a Friday evening, pick it up back up on a Sunday evening, and it should still be keeping time just fine. For the Yacht-Master II, we have it housed in a large oyster case backing. It is also a perpetual mechanical self-winding movement. It is also a regatta chronograph, which allows for the functions of the chronograph pushers. Is a caliber 4161 4161 movement that's in-house manufactured with the same precision of that -2 + 2 seconds a day. As the functions of the center hour and minutes hand, the small seconds hand in the 6 o'clock sub dial, as I've pointed out before. And it actually has a programmable countdown with mechanical memory and on-the-fly synchronization, stopping the seconds hand for precise time setting. As I said before, we do have a YouTube video explaining the whole function of the chronograph for small showing. The 2 o'clock position chronograph starts and stops at main central seconds hand, the red hand. Pressing it will stop it. Pressing it will start it. You can also do a sort of a flyback as it can reset. Normally chronographs don't have this ability to reset the central seconds hand on the fly like this. You usually have to stop and reset. But the Yacht-Master II has that nice ability to do that sort of reset very easily. Okay. All right, so besides that, same thing, paramagnetic blue parachrome hairspring for little magnetic resistance, and but the power reserve of this watch is actually much higher at a 72-hour reserve, so you can put this on a Friday evening, pick it back up on a Monday evening, and it should still be keeping time just fine. So let me actually go ahead and show you these watches on my wrist now, starting with the Rhodium Yacht-Master 40. As you can see, very simple, easy to use clasp, very tight, very secure. Nice balance between being a sports watch and a luxury dress watch, as you can see with the high polished oyster links, very beautiful. And let me go ahead and show you the Yacht-Master II now. Pop that open, slap that on there. Sorry, not very good with my left hand. All right, so there's the Yacht-Master II on the wrist. Here they are side by side. Here's the side profiles. As you can see, Yacht-Master II definitely sits much higher on the wrist. Okay, so if you're interested in any of these watches or any similar models for the lowest possible price, check out our website at JazTime.com. We have the lowest prices guaranteed. We offer free shipping and a 1-year warranty. And if you liked the video, please like, comment, and subscribe below. We've got lots more to show you guys. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys soon.